And pick like Spetsnaz or SAS.
Alright, I love you.
I love you.
Okay, here we go. Alright, everyone, let's do this. Oh god. Okay. Good start. Oh, you bastard. Okay. Alright. Okay. He hates me. I see you. No, I don't. Oh man, this is embarrassing. Yes! I'll take it. I'll take it. It's my last kill of the game. Of the game. Of the game. Wow, Nick. Alright. Let's see if I can just surprise him. Oh, I just lagged. That's fun. Oh my gosh. He's destroying me. This is not even fun. You suck, Brent. AKA I suck. Oh gosh. No, no, no. You're a bastard. And he looked at me afterwards like, alright, I'm gonna try some hiding for once. Yeah. I don't know how to switch. How do I switch weapons? Like that. Oh, he's mad now. I'll just wait, like a predator. He's probably gonna kill me though. Where are you? He's waiting for me. He's doing the same thing. We're both just waiting for each other. So many dead bodies right now. He could be one of them. Oh gosh. Where are you? Here. What movie is that from? Batman. What? Are you a magician? Is he hiding from me? Are you scared? Is that what it is? I think he's scared of me. Oh gosh. Is he messing with me right now? It's like, where are you hiding, son? Dang. Dang, girl. You be tripping, dog. Yeah, I was say I'm not gonna get any more kills for them. He's mad at me. I was hoping I was gonna get him right here. Come on. Oh, Brent. I don't even say you right now. You're a jerk for making me look stupid. Oh gosh. I just hear like the creaking. Oh gosh, I see him. Oh, that was just. Oh, what is that? It's like a little shiny thing right there. It must not be him. Oh gosh. Oh god, I see him. I saw him. I saw him. I saw him. I keep on pressing the side mouse buttons and it's like screwing me up. AKA, I suck at this game. On a 5-kill streak. You're a jerk. Oh, he killed himself. I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. That's what you get. You're a jerk, Brent. The sound I keep on hearing. Oh god. I suck at this game. I get all panicky and then I just start pointing in the wrong direction. I don't know how to even do that. Okay. He just cut me. I don't even know what the cut move is. Yep. 4 to 16. Oh, at least I got my kills early. Yes, thank you. Give me a break here. How do you know I was there? You're a cheater, Brent. You have a hack code. Oh, and he killed me with a pistol too. That's the ultimate disrespect. Yeah, he's showing off right now. He's saying that I don't have what it takes, and he's right. Where does he go? Is he just like, is he up there somewhere? Like, I don't even... And he even jumped up in the air too. I'm scared. I'm shaking a little bit. Is he up there? I mean, oh gosh. See, he's throwing bombs all far over there. He's like behind me right now. Okay, I'm lagging a little bit. Oh, we don't like that.
Time is running out.
Oh, time's running out. I better just get on to it, get some kills, aka let him kill me more. What?
Time is running out.
Oh, I found... No, I didn't find anything. Did I find... Where are you, dog? I can't... Oh, man. That's embarrassing. That's not a... It's not a very good way to go out. That's probably more what he thought was going to happen. Yeah, go ahead and shame me right now, too. Shoot me in the ass. Yep. Yep, he shot me in the ass. That's the last one. Truly, you piece of crap, you. Good job, buddy. Hey, how's it going, my friends? This is Nick from the Nerd Frenzy. And we are talking about the video game spectacular Call of Duty. We have our special guest who's been coming since day one.
The one and only, baby.
The one and only.
The one and only.
Brent
That
Parker.
intro. That intro, bro. That wherever your heart is, that's where it was.
Oh, I
Warm me right up.
always watch back my playback whenever I'm editing and everything, and I'm just looking at myself going, huh, I did that, didn't I?
That's me. I'm putting that out in the public. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm proud of myself.
Oh my gosh.
Great. Hey, Nick. Good to see you, bud. Good to
Hey,
hang
buddy.
out.
So we just got done playing some Call of Duty action, my friend.
Yeah, we played Modern Warfare Remastered because tonight we're discussing Call of Duty, the love it or hate it, love it or leave it, whatever you want to call it, the video game sensation, as some put it. But it's kind of crazy. Like, I mean, it definitely has like, as far as like the gaming community, it definitely has a bit of a rap, right? I mean, particularly
Sure,
now,
sure.
I think in modern gaming culture, it's seen as a pretty I'd say maybe a rough community, a toxic community most of the time, I think. Or like only to be played by like meathead type individuals, which we clearly are, which is why we played it so much. Very,
Yeah.
very it's got some negative kind of stereotypes to it, but like I said, love it or leave it, it is a phenomenon. One way you can't deny it. And I think that's a really kind of cool topic. I mean,
Yeah.
we used to play it I think two, one, two, and three. I can't remember
So
which ones we
I
played.
played
Two and
Modern
three.
Warfare 1 once I got out of boot camp, and I didn't do any of the multiplayer. Just did the whole first game. And then whenever you and I both got on the Navy Kitsap, what is it called? Kitsap Naval Base.
Mm-hmm.
You introduced me to 2, and that's the one I played mostly. We played pretty much Rust. That was our number one.
Yeah, right. We played the hell of that map, dude. That
Oh
was
man.
such a small map. We had so much fun playing that. Yeah, it was two. It was two because we played two, and Black Ops 2 came out while we were still in. And then right towards the tail end of my time in is when 3 released, I think. And I played a lot of 3 too. I've played a lot of it. I really like Call of
Mhm.
Duty in my personal opinion. It's a fine shooter. You know, it works mechanically. It has a really nice system. It was actually like the very first game to kind of introduce that ADS, aim down sight system, which is now like prevalent in so many shooters. It's like the
Mm.
go-to
That's what I
mechanic to
expect
shoot
in a
your
game.
gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
So
and when I played these games back in the day, I did play the ones on the Xbox and the Xbox 360, and I remember that they were great and all, but I think the biggest ones that kind of got those games going was the Medal of Honor games. And
yeah,
I remember Medal of Honor was kind of amazing, and then all of a sudden Call of Duty was like, hey, well, we're gonna make a game too, and then it's almost like a back and forth for a little bit.
yeah. Medal of Honor. Which one released first? I think maybe Medal of Honor did release
I
first.
think it
I
was Medal
think
of
you're
Honor
right.
because you can totally tell they took the aesthetic of it, and when they did the very first Call of Duty, it was a World War II one, and you could totally tell it was kind of it was influenced by it for sure.
Yeah, actually, it sounds like a team split off from the Medal of Honor team to make the Call of Duty team to make that
Is that
the
Treyarch
Infinity Ward.
Infinity Ward? Yep.
No, that'd be Infinity Ward. Yeah,
Yeah,
who
Treyarch
broke
didn't
off
come till
originally.
later on, did they?
Yeah, they came. They did the Black Ops series, and that's another kind of cool thing. Also, like what's fascinating is that
They go back and
it's
forth.
a
Yeah.
game series that's been running for 18 years,
Mm.
right? It's 18 years. It is legally able to smoke and gamble. It just can't drink yet. So
Oh, that's lame.
that's fascinating. And on top of that, like it's been handled by like 4 or 5 different companies. I mean, you had
Mm.
Sledgehammer Games do something. You had Treyarch. You have Infinity Ward. I think there's another one in
Activision.
the mix. Well, Activision's been like
I
the
guess they're
backer
kind
of
of the
all of
whole
it.
the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the overarching under the umbrella of Activision is where all these lie. But it's just like that's crazy that the game has been consistently successful,
Hmm.
and been able to be worked on by so many different teams. And there's definitely been like really good iterations and really bad iterations. I mean, and they all worked and they've all sold really well. They're just like anything that runs for 18 years. There are some hits and some misses, most assuredly. Um, and I just wanted, I told you this earlier, and I think this is kind of what's cool about it. And again, I really come back because I think a lot of people are going to sit down and they're going to see this and be like, Call of Duty's stupid. You're stupid for liking it. It's Call of Duty's apes. Blah, blah, blah. Monkeys play Call of Duty. Um, but I think it discredits, and I think a lot of the game industry right now kind of discredits what the real achievements that Call of Duty's actually achieved. Like what it has done for us as far as popularizing like mainstream gaming, right? We had Halo that really popularized like the Microsoft console, and then we had Call of Duty that began to really help bring gaming into like a mainstream. Everybody does it. Everybody plays Call of Duty, right? You can talk to anybody, male, female, it, him, she, or whatever it may be. They have probably played or at least know of the idea of Call of Duty. And
Sure.
one thing I find really, really cool and why we keep seeing these year after year, and I told you this, was that when Modern Warfare 3 released, okay? So now we're 3 deep into the Modern Warfare series for this releasing of Call of Duty. In its first month, it sold 8.8 million copies.
Jeez.
Okay, so at $60 at 8.8 million copies in the first month, that's nuts. But the math looks a little bit like this: if you take the top grossing films, which are Avatar,
Hmm.
Titanic, and the Avengers, okay? Think about those films real quick. Just put them in your mind. Call of Duty, the third one, made more than all of them combined. And that's
Jeez.
insane. That is crazy to me. The amount of fiscal power the Call of Duty franchise actually carries when you consider that. And that's just the third one. That's not to mention now, this is before microtransactions and this is before war or battlefield or what are they called? Battle royales, all that stuff. This is back when you just sat down and you had a campaign and a multiplayer lobby, and that's what you did. And
Hmm.
they still sold that much. $6 billion worth of video game wonder.
So,
That's it's incredible.
Brent, what do you mean about all the slack it's getting? Then I mean, I don't. I mean, the only thing I could ever think of slack wise is like, oh well, it's not Battlefield, but at the end of the day, like you're right. This is kind of redefined how we do first person shooters. So I don't. What is it? A lot of hate going on towards it right now?
I mean, just collectively, I think, from my perspective, this is all via me looking in from the video game bubble. I know a lot of people who I used to play Call of Duty with people consistently, several individuals. We used to play it all the time over and over and over again. And with the last 3 or 4 iterations, like, oh, it's Call of Duty. Call of Duty sucks. And that's it. There's not
Oh,
much of defense against it or anything. They just
oh
say it
okay.
sucks. And I understand a lot of like the criticisms of it, right?
Mm,
It hasn't necessarily really developed overly, right? There haven't been a whole lot of new or exciting mechanics that have been put into it. There's been little things here that have been tried, like Modern Warfare had a mounting system you could do behind cover, which I thought was really, really cool. There's like Black Ops had like the hero powers where you could get like an ultimate, and you'd have like a weird like flamethrower or like a lightning gun and all this other stuff. But in the long haul, it hasn't really developed much from aim gun down sight, put perks on, put attachments to
sure,
gun,
sure.
you know,
Okay, okay.
rinse and repeat. And
And
and I think that's its biggest criticism,
I can see that.
held against it.
I can see that, and
So
I get, and one thing I've noticed too is for a while they were doing like you said changes that were like, oh no, now we're going to do like I remember the throwback grenade thing was a really big thing for a while, and I think the Call of Duty thing that I like the best is the zombie modes. I mean, I always thought like that. And what was that? Was that wasn't Infinity Ward?
that was Treyarch.
That
Treyarch
was
did
Treyarch.
zombies.
Yeah, and Word at War. That was the one that was right after the first Modern
That
Warfare, and I remember that was the first zombie one. And even though Modern Warfare was prettier looking, it was everything was like I guess had a more of a polished look. What I like, and I think all of Treyarch's, which did all the Black Ops, all those guys, I
mhm.
think all this stuff's a little grittier and a little bit more raw, and I think that's why I like those a little bit better.
Yeah, I think Treyarch does a really good job. I mean, just collectively between Infinity Ward and Treyarch, Treyarch has always done a fantastic job of not only carrying the torch, but I think improving in the Call of Duty area. Like you said, zombies. They did the powers and stuff for Black Ops. They were the first battle royale for Call of Duty with Black Ops 4 is where they did their blackout.
Mm.
That was their first Warzone or sorry battle royale mode. So I mean, they've always done a really really good job of I think leaning into what Call of Duty is and kind of really doing something a little different, but nothing too far outside the box that makes us nervous, but enough to be excited for. Zombies, particularly, there is a fan following of zombies. There is a fanaticism to zombies that people
Hmm.
love. I don't understand it. I loved the ending where you got to do the little defense build the thing zombie mode in World at War.
when you're
Was
the
that it? Right?
when you're the characters like that.
The very first one, the very very first time you got to do it, which I think was World at War, is what you said, right? That was
Yes, it was
World at
Word.
was
Yeah,
that World at War?
2009, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right. Getting to like that was a really cool Easter egg. That was a cool little like tucked away gem. And then how it became stapled to it,
Yeah.
I think is really good.
Hmm.
But I myself have never like dived that far in because there's some mechanics there that I just don't personally enjoy.
Sure.
But like my brother is he loves it. He has played all of those to death, to freaking death, to undeath. He has played them so much. You like that? Yeah. And that's another thing is like Call of Duty is always so much more than just like this yearly shooter, and it certainly is that. but at the same time, like the cool little extras, the zombies where you got to like start out in arena and then you got a power where like one dude went berserk or something. And God, what the hell was that one? That was a really really cool one. I want to say that
Is
was
that
Black Ops.
4? No.
I think that was Black Ops 4. I think,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there were some really really cool ideas that they are constantly working through, and it sticks and not all of it stays. And I think that's part of the reason why it always feels like Call of Duty is a rinse and repeat a little bit, because the newer, more exciting things they do, they tend to cut,
Mm.
and they keep with like the semi structure of aim, gun, shoot, perks. They focus really heavily on that multiplayer aspect, while the zombies feels like it gets an overhaul every single time. And the only thing that feels the same is the idea of like, okay, go in, figure out the route, figure out what you need to unlock and what guns you should be using, and there is a strategy to that,
Sure.
and that's about
Sure.
all that tends to stay the same. The rest of it feels very weird and very neat and unique every time.
Mm.
So I would say to those who throw a lot of hate on the idea that Call of Duty is it's rinse and repeat, it's the same old. Um, I think there's more to that, and I think that you're maybe taking a bit of an easy argument just because it's released yearly and it's consistently successful
Mm.
yearly. So if you don't want them to make them, maybe people should stop buying them. But I don't think that's going to be
Yeah.
the case, bud.
Well, what do you do whenever like every year they have Madden and it's like, oh, we did this much more to each one, but yet there people are mad. They're like, oh no, I will buy it because the updated roster, or
Yeah,
whatever the reason is. So, I mean, there's always something going on with that, and I do this thing where I use just every other game I'll buy it.
and I think that's okay. I there's the old adage: if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Sure, sure.
That's Call of Duty, right? It wasn't broke. Why fix it? So I don't know why people are mad that it's the same thing because it works. But
Mm.
and I digress a little. I get it. They want an injection of life, right? You want something new. A perfect example is I think the last 3 or 4 Call of Duties have all re-released like Nuketown. Like every one of them has just put Nuketown back in it, and there haven't been any like real classic maps that people go back to because they just keep playing Nuketown. So there's there was a lot to be said of like there is this cyclical nature that it has. However, again, if it's working, why are we complaining that we want them to fix it? Do we want fresh life? Certainly, but I don't think it deserves nearly half as much rap as it gets. Of like, it's the same thing.
Well,
I think
what can you even do to make it refreshing in the first place? I mean, you'd have to. I mean, I know. I mean, obviously, updated graphics. People always want that. But what can you do with the control scheme? As you said a minute ago, like I love 100% exactly how it already is. I mean, I'm sure there's
mhm.
better ways of doing it, but I mean, unless the controllers also give me a neck massage as well, I don't really know what else you guys can do.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I think the game works.
Yeah.
Mechanically, it works. It behaves, and it does what you want it to do. And I mean, like, what more do you want from it? And like I said, I feel like I'm standing on a pedestal. Like Call of Duty is the best, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's plenty to be said that it is
Yeah,
stale,
playing with your
secondary.
friend on the remastered version when it's hard to
Oh my
do. That's hard.
God, what a nightmare that was. So stupid. And that's a really good like point to levy against it is the fact that like Activision, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, the people who have worked on these things have more money than God.
Hmm.
So you would think they what probably should happen to reinvigorate it, to be honest, is they need to step back from a yearly release.
Mm.
They need to walk back from a yearly release, give it a 2 year break, and really dive back in. And again, because I think they tell fun stories. World War,
It's
Call of
hard. It's
Duty.
hard. That's because Black Ops was an excellent story, but most of us don't play the stories, sadly. So how do you get us engaged in the stories?
I think most people play the story. They're
You do
short.
think
I
so?
think, oh, certainly, because I mean, generally speaking, you're paying $60. You're probably going to touch that 6 to 8 hour story at some point.
Mm.
I don't think the stories are like I describe them as blockbuster. That's what I would describe Call of Duty
Michael
stories
Bay.
as. It's
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. Stuff's blowing up. You run around. Things are falling apart. There's really, really great set pieces. Call of Duty is one of the best games for awesome set pieces you can ask for.
Mm.
The plane crash in Modern Warfare 2 that you're on when you're trying to like save the president as the plane's being
Yes.
hijacked. What a dude! My jaw dropped. It was a what a thrill ride of
Yeah.
like a great set piece. Um, but I think they tell fun stories. I think they tell neat stories. Like I said the World War II one. I can't remember what it was called.
Word at
One of the more
War.
recent ones.
Oh,
Well, that was the old one.
one of the recent ones, huh?
Yeah, one of the more recent. And I don't remember. It doesn't. the name is not overly that important. I thought that was a very fun story. I thought that was really cool to walk through their like telling of like this World War II company and what they were doing and all this other stuff. I thought that was very good. I thought Black Ops is always fun with a story. Black Ops was it 3 didn't have one, and I found that to be odd because it had so many cool characters. But
I
whatever,
think because they
not.
probably assumed that no one was going to want to play it either.
And it's true they did. That was their assumption is that they were just like, well, why add the 8 hours to it when was it Black Ops 3 that did it, or was it Black Ops 4
I
that
think it's
didn't have a
Black Ops
story?
4.
Anyway, yeah, they cut it, and I was offended. I mean, not as in like, I was just like, dude, I like playing that stuff. It gets me warmed up and it gets me feel for the game, and I always like to see the things they tell.
Mm.
Um, but I think really to reinvigorate, I don't. They've stuck pretty close to like the first person, like what's hot in the first person scene. I mean, look at Warzone, right? It's widely successful. It's the third most popular battle royale out, the third most successful,
Mm.
even on top of it. So they constantly stick with what people want to a certain degree, but it's just like you're never going to see like MOBA controls, right? You're never going to see a Call of Duty MOBA. You're never going to see like a Call of Duty, I don't know,
Yeah.
trading card game. You're never going to see Call of Duty Go like this extreme route. So it's like yeah, I honestly don't know what you do to reinvigorate the multiplayer. I mean, to a certain degree, maybe you go old school. I don't know, dude. You throw it back to like running around the map with only pistols and there's power weapons to pick up, or Halo esque type,
Like
and
in Grand Theft Auto 3, they did that, like the aerial view and stuff like that. But uh, but
and maybe that's something.
but the thing is, man, is I like this way.
I'm with you. To me,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Right. Right. I,
So yeah.
I don't
Go ahead.
but I think that you were hitting something perfectly a minute ago. You said, "Hey, wait a little bit," because I've noticed that movies do that too, where they'll put a movie quickly out because they know, hey, this is gonna get a lot of money, and we know. No, no, no. If it takes you 3 years to do it, then but it's for quality reasons, then do it. Yeah, I'm gonna bitch about it because
Hmm.
I'm a human. But at the end of the day, if it's like Game of Thrones, if you hey guys, so we kind of didn't film enough. Okay, well that's fine. Just keep filming then.
Oh, totally. It's
You know, I
I'm
mean,
gonna complain because I want it, and I get that. I'm gonna be that person. But you're right. To a certain degree, it really makes me think of like Blizzard. Blizzard used to be a company where, and with the new Diablo, they're kind of doing this again. But they used to be a company where it's like, hey, we're working on it. When it's ready, we'll release it.
yeah,
It'll be
it
there.
could be a year, it could be 10 years, but when it's out, I promise you, like all of our titles, it will be awesome. Yep.
Yep. And recently, they've dropped the ball with like the Warcraft 3 remaster and
Yes,
like a
they
few other
have.
things.
Hmm.
But the thing with the Call of Duty series is, like I said, there's a lot more in going on, obviously, than just like, okay, we're a video game company, we're gonna go ahead and just produce this every year to make money. You have investors, you have backers, you have Activision as a whole, right? They have a bottom line they want to meet, they want to make money, so they know that Call of Duty makes money, so they're like, hey, by the way, it's 2021, go ahead and send that sucker out right around October 1st. We'll see it out. That's what's happening right now, and we're gonna keep getting the same kind of stagnant complaints of it's nothing new. We give us something new. This is dumb. Call of Duty sucks because it's Call of Duty. But they really do. I think they need to take time and go back to the drawing board, if only to try something new. Because when they did Modern Warfare, right, we'd only had Call of Duties that were in the World War II era
Hmm.
up to that point.
Hmm.
That's all we had, and we just had like, you're a soldier and you're gonna go do this famous battle
Battle
and
of
you're
the
gonna run through it
Bulge.
and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, you're gonna do all this stuff and it's cool and it's exciting, but there was no telling, no tale really, just a bunch of like quotes every time you died and World War II history stuff.
yeah. Sure.
But when they came with Modern Warfare, I remember the hype when they displayed they did the gameplay of the sniping segment where you're crawling around in a ghillie suit and the whole 9 yards. And the gaming community just couldn't get enough. They
Hmm.
couldn't get enough. They couldn't believe it. We could not believe that that was the next one. That they had abandoned the formula they knew and brought us into somewhere completely new. And they have certainly attempted to do that again a little bit, like when we went to space with Advanced Warfare or Space Warfare, whatever the
Not a
hell it was
fan of
called.
modern war. Not yeah, Advanced Warfare is what it was called. Yeah.
Was that Advanced?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what that was my
was
least
there was
favorite
that
one. The
one.
Juggernauts and stuff, which they were okay, but I don't know. It wasn't
Yeah,
very good. That was right after Black Ops, wasn't it?
yeah. That
Yeah,
was when Sledgehammer Games did that one. And
not a fan.
and again, they tried, but when you're in such a tight constraint that after the newest one ships, you've already started
Hmm.
working
Hmm.
on the next. it is stifling creativity for them. I think it's stifling like the juice that gave us the idea of perks, that gave us the idea of like kill streaks. I mean, when dude, the first time you got your airstrike kill streak and you dropped it
Oh
in a
man.
multiplayer lobby
Oh yeah.
is just like one of the best moments, one of the funnest moments in gaming you could possibly achieve. Just and it's just an airstrike. All you did was just drop some bombs from the sky, but how cool! How cool to be rewarded for that. You know, that's the type of stuff that like I think that's what people want. And
Mm-hmm.
by what I mean is we want innovation like that. And you might have to take Call of Duty and flip it on its head a little. We might have to take what we've known multiplayer wise and really actually put it through the ringer and take a look at what we can do new. But if anybody can do it, and if anybody has the money to do it, it's anybody under Activision and or it's Infinity Ward slash Treyarch. They all as a company they if you were going to tell me anything about budget constraints on why you can't have time to develop the next big shooter, I, I will not buy it. I can't I couldn't believe it if you tried because that's the dumbest thing I would hear from it. It's like Blizzard telling me, "Well, we don't have enough money to shut up." Yes, you do. You have had World of Warcraft for 15, 16 freaking years. You have had over 10 million players. The game paid for itself 40 times. You have enough money. If you so chose, you could invest it into a new project and you'll be okay. So it, I just feel like it's that stifled creativity that they're not taking their funds and actually like looking to develop something new. We're just and this is its strongest criticism I think raised against it is that cyclical nature of which I've tried to defend and say it's not, but we're coming back to, with the same game every year. But they could really do something new. I really think the ideas with the heroes in Black Ops were fascinating. I think like the Warzone battle royale thing is really really cool. I mean, there's something between those two that no one's touched yet. Minus Apex, I guess. Apex has kind of touched on that, the hero shooter slash battle royale, and Call of Duty could do that, and I'm kind of surprised they don't a little bit because that's their biggest competitor. I think actually Apex is like the best or highest played slash successful battle royale right now.
Yeah.
But sorry, I'm on a tangent here, but the point is, Call of Duty's good. Call of Duty's fun, and it's okay that it's kind of cyclical. It's kind of the same thing each year, but it would be cool to see them try something new and exciting.
Yeah,
That'd
no,
be really cool.
I agree. And you know where we've came from. I remember back in the day, GoldenEye was the standard. It was like, oh, you if you make GoldenEye, then Perfect Dark was like right after that, and then all of a sudden, Halo, like you said. And I still to this day, to be honest, and I'm glad kind of Halo they went the Call of Duty way. I remember when when you used the left thing, it wasn't for aiming; it was for throwing I think throwing bombs. Now it's like no, that's for aiming because people like to have that extra option to get close in and do that thing. They didn't want to use the little clicker thing. I remember,
Yep.
and so they kind of started copying Call of Duty too. And so obviously Call of Duty has done so much for the gaming community. So even though they've been kind of stale for maybe a few years or whatnot, I think the reason why that is because no other competitions came out and said, "Hey, we've made this badass game, so you need to compete with us and make a better game too." So come on, guys, step it up.
Hmm. Yeah, their closest competition is like, Battlefield, which is a great game, but when you really hold the games next to each other, they're completely different. You
They're
know,
different.
the yeah.
And I played those games a little bit, and I didn't play them as much as I Call of Duty because I didn't like I guess just the control scheme as well. But I know a lot of people love those games way more than Call of Duty. So I
Yeah, I mean, I was literally like, if you caught me a week ago, all I was playing was Battlefield 5. I was just playing it because it's gorgeous, it's fun, and it's got a different pacing that I really enjoy. Um, and it still sits in that realm of like, capable shooters. But yeah, there's nothing really on the market that I think competes at the level of Call of Duty for sure, and I think that's fair. That I mean, it's like taking on, but at the same time, right, it's like taking on Blizzard. It's like taking on WoW.
taking on
The only one
Disney, yeah.
that yeah, exactly. And the only one that's been doing that is like, God, nothing can take on Disney now with Marvel and Star Wars and everything else that they're freaking out.
I
But
know.
like, you even look at like, WoW, the only thing in recent history that it stood a chance is Final Fantasy 14
Mm.
or whatever it is. Final Fantasy, I think it's 14 online. Like,
Because of they have
that's
a
it. That's the only last
long-standing
contender.
cloud, but other than that, the game's not as good as WoW was. But yeah,
I agree. I think WoW is a better game in my
well,
opinion, or as far as it draws me in more. I just want to run this down here, like because we talked about it a little bit, because I think this is cool. All right. I'm just gonna list the top 5 battle royales right now
Do it.
because I think this is good for comparison to like what we're talking about. Number 1 currently is Apex. Okay. And that's by actually, which is really kind of a cool little story for you and I. I don't know if you saw the dudes. That's actually by the original, a very large part of the original team that made that made Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. And what's really cool is actually when we were in the Navy, the Modern Warfare, the Infinity War guys came out to the boat, and they brought a bunch of Xboxes, they brought a bunch of big screens, they brought a whole bunch of
I
copies of
remember that. I
Modern
remember that.
Warfare.
Yeah.
And was it Modern Warfare 2? I think it was Modern Warfare 3. They brought a whole bunch out.
It wouldn't have been 2 because that would have been already a couple years old by that point.
Yeah, it must have been 3. But they came out, and we hung out on the ship with them on the Stennis, and we talked. And
We talked to that one actor too, Rob something, that bald guy.
Rob, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Rob
Yep. Yeah, I have a picture of
Conroy.
him.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, I'm wearing my
Yep.
my Michael Jackson Thriller T-shirt, and I'm giving him a little half hug, and yeah, he was very
Yeah.
shy.
And yeah, it was surprising
Yeah.
how shy he was.
Yeah,
I mean, it's fine, right? You don't, especially as a voice actor to a certain degree too. It's like, anyway, the point is, the dudes who made Apex slash Titanfall, that came out and saw us, a large portion of that team is actually from the original Infinity Ward team that made the Modern Warfare's 1, 2, and 3. They split, made Titanfall, made a killing, did great work, continue to do great work. So, just a fun note.
cool.
So, Apex is number 1 for our battle royales.
Okay,
Number 2 is Fortnite, not surprising.
okay.
Number 3 of Call of Duty Warzone.
Mm-hmm.
4 is PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, and 5 is Fall Guys. And why I think this is cool is because 4 of the 5 are shooters. Call of Duty Warzone has been out for, what, 2 years?
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
PUBG has been out forever. A long time. PUBG has been out since I played the World War II Call of Duty back in 2016, 2018, something like that, right in that range.
Good job, guys.
And I just think it's fascinating to know not only again is Call of Duty just successfully because people like to shoot things, but its Warzone has moved up to challenge the top 2 of Fortnite and Apex, which have been around forever and has capitalized, has gone over PUBG, which if you remember the come up of like battle royales, it was World War Z, not World War Z, help me.
Warzone,
DayZ. It
What's
was
it?
DayZ
Daisy.
for when battle royales were being released.
Oh,
Or,
okay.
or as far as like when they were being first kind of, I think it was DayZ and PUBG. That was like early access, but they were so hot. They were so on fire, and they had such a grounded community. And to know that for the 2 years roughly, and maybe a little change, that Call of Duty has been out for the Warzone mod, it is just, it's already gone above unknown, player unknown battleground PUBG. And I think that's a very clear statement that the individuals over at Infinity Ward, over at Treyarch, really do know what they're doing. And I think it's a really clear statement that at least you could go, hey, these games are technically good. I think it's an argument can be made that on this alone, they're good.
If you're the top 3, and people are saying, "Well, you guys are not, doing anything relevant anymore," well, guess what? We are because we're top 3. So yeah, the proof's in the pudding right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
And I just think that's cool. I think as a
It is cool.
perspective in this conversation, it's cool to see that. And like I said, there's a lot to be levied against. There's the microtransactions. There's a whole bunch of arguments on
That's
why
for
they're
all
terrible.
games, though.
Yep,
Microtransactions. Yeah.
exactly. So they can't just roll that up into Call of Duty. However, that being said, there's plenty of arguments to be made there. I'm just simply stating Call of Duty does good work.
Mm-hmm.
It is an overproduced thing maybe, but it does great work and it keeps us coming back. And that is a really cool staple of kind of nerd culture, I think. So that's my final little bit I wanted to just toss in there. So
No,
that's all I got, Nick. I just been yelling for an hour about Call of Duty. Buy Call of Duty. Go out, invest in Call of Duty. I don't.
and you're from Boston all of a sudden too. I like that.
I'm from Boston. Yeah, we got the socks.
Yeah, Bill Burr hates you so much right now. He's like, "You're doing it
Yeah.
wrong." I'm like, "Well, I just did it wrong too."
He
Though, so.
would kick in my door and strangle me on this live podcast. He would murder me, and you couldn't do anything about it because he's Bill Burr. He's been in Star Wars now. He can do whatever he
I
wants.
know, seriously.
He's officially got Star Wars money.
I know. God bless him.
God bless him. Twice he's been on that. He's been on that twice.
Well, the first time it was kind of like a nice little runaway joke, and then the second time it's like you're actually kind of an important like character in the situation.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah, absolutely.
It's weird. It's kind of weird that I like what you're doing. Can
Mm-hmm.
you tell me an offensive joke now, sir? Do
Mm-hmm.
your Bill Burr thing, please. Sorry, that was
Yeah,
me getting
yeah. Just talk real loud like
distracted.
Brent Parker does.
Yeah, just scream. That's my humor. Though if I just scream, sooner or later you'll laugh. Just either a
I
nervous
know.
laugh or because I'm saying something funny. Yeah, exactly. That's I'm funny. Shut up.
Oh, but no, I think the best thing about these games, the closing up, my friend, is I started playing these games seriously whenever I was with you. I was with you and Chris Todd, and whenever you had nothing in your house, you had your TV, and then that was the first game that we would play, and I think it was like it'd be you would have like 45 kills, I'd have like 22 kills, and then Chris would have like 3 kills, and I'm not exaggerating. It was literally that bad. I got all my kills from shooting him, and you got all your kills from shooting both of us. So, but
Well, when one target just holds still,
I
no,
know once it's doing this back and forth, and you're like, wow, I could literally like shoot you now or shoot you in 10 seconds. It doesn't really matter.
yeah, makes no difference.
At least with me, I'm running around doing that.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
God you're moving. Adding some challenge to it.
A lot
Yeah,
of times I was fighting you. I was pressing the side of my mouse key, and I was like trying to change weapons as I was trying to shoot you. So if you ever watch it, when you watch it back, just you'll probably see I was like, oh no, he's gonna try to cut me. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm trying to shoot you still.
I couldn't figure out. I There was one part while we were playing. I threw a stun grenade right in front of you, and it went off, and you were clearly blinded. And I
Oh
wanted
yeah.
to melee you, but I couldn't find the button, so I just had to walk up and shoot you in the feet. I
Well, you
felt so
had plenty
bad
of
because
time because
I had a year to figure it out, and I couldn't do it. So I'm inept. It's not you, it's me.
yeah, I
So
was my son Jack was sitting next to me, and I was a proud father getting ready to kick some ass, and I did okay the first time we
the
played.
first one did great.
Yeah,
You did really
and
good.
that was only because you
Yeah.
didn't know how to play the game. You were getting used to it too. But the moment you kind of got your sea legs back, and my son was sitting there watching me, proud son, and the next thing I know, I'm just getting destroyed by you, and I'm just looking at my son, just like, look away,
Going,
look
going
away.
off. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, those were some of the best, man. Those were to get sappy again for a moment. When I first got and I had no friends at the base, I went to the rec center because I was living on the boat like you, and we hadn't met yet. At least not like formally and hanging out and stuff. And I remember going each night because I had nothing else to do, and I'd go to the rec center. I'd rent, I'd check out Modern Warfare 2, and I would go sit on one of their consoles. I'd sign in, and I'd just play that. And being so far away from everything I'd already known forever, out of especially boot camp, A school,
This is
and then
foreign. Yeah, it's like leaving mom and dad again, but times five because you have someone not being like comforting. They're like saying, "You piece of shit." I'm like, "Oh gosh,"
yeah,
and I was a 25-year-old man going like, "Well, can you talk to me like that? You can't. Okay, you can. You
okay, I guess we can do
can."
that. I'm not people. All right, noted.
Yeah.
And yeah, to go down and like play that, and then like talk to Crystal on the phone, and then play that. It was like that weird little like I always have a very warm spot for number two in my heart because of that. Because yeah, like it was a comforting thing. And then to take it back to what you said, we spent so much time just at the place hanging out, bullshitting, and when we'd get bored or whatever, we just throw that in, and I mean, we would just enjoy each other's company and just have
Hmm.
fun. And especially in the modern age, we can connect online like we're doing right now, and you
Sure.
can play games and stuff online like we did earlier and everything. But there was something very special and still very genuinely sweet to sit down with your friends around the screen, and especially to play something for so many hours and be so entertained um,
During a scary
by
time too, when you're like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have been in the military." We just got out of our little school, and they're like, "Okay, now you're a military guy." And I'm like, "Oh." And it was scary. And then the first thing is like, well, I need something to keep my sanity. And there's video game, Modern Warfare 2, and then Brent Parker, all in one
yeah,
little.
and that was it for me. It was you and Todd and just games that I knew before we all found not only like our group and everything kind of like and we all bonded that way, but we found like that, like you said, that semblance of comfort for became our norm, right? It became our comfortable norm. So yeah, that'll always have a because of that, it'll always have a nice special spot. I want to share one story if I can, and you might be able to cut it, I don't know. So I'm going to stop for just a second, just in case you have to. But I want to tell this story because it cracks me up every time. So we we were back from workouts and spice had become a thing. Remember that?
Oh,
Remember
spice.
everybody?
Yeah, the synthetic marijuana, aka kills you actually. Well, marijuana, is not good for you. This is actually like, what was it? Incense. It was incense. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
technically, I think it was.
Yeah.
So we sat down at our house, and someone, I won't say names, imbibed in
Yeah.
it,
Of
and we
course.
sat down and played Call of Duty. And we were playing each other, and it was three of us playing, and he goes, "Man, I'm doing so good." And I look over, I'm like, "No, you're not. What do you mean? I have like 20 kills. I'm doing so good." They're like, "Which one do you think you are?" And he goes, "Is that me? No, that's me, bud."
I
And
remember
he
that.
looks down at the screen, and on his screen, he is literally walking into a wall. And that's how I had seen him. That's how Nick had seen him
Yeah.
the entire time we had played. The entirety of that game, he had just been walking into
Yeah.
walls, getting stuck on stuff, and firing his gun randomly like a psychopath.
Oh, so
Ah,
and someone that was sleeping with it had a better job than him, and this
dude,
was,
it was
he was bad. Like I said, like you'd have 45 kills, I'd have 22 kills, he'd have 2 kills, and those 2 kills probably because like, I accidentally blew up myself or something like that. We, it's, yeah, I tried to throw one at him, and yeah, it didn't work. Yeah, but he Chris was like awful at all video games. I've noticed though, he was just kind of,
yeah,
and with his little spice adventures, he was, like a madman.
exceptionally terrible.
Yeah.
He was insane. I'll never forget. I'm doing so good. No, you're not. Yeah, I am. Which one are you, bud? Wait, like look,
I know.
it was a sobering moment for him, and you looked over at him like, oh Lord, not like this.
Oh man, and like I said, always like, and this is any game, everyone. Brent will always be first place, and usually by a large number, no matter what the game is. No matter what the game is, yeah, I'm
Depends
saying
who we're
that.
playing with.
And then I'll be second or third, depending on who else is there too. And then Chris Todd will be not only last, but shouldn't have even been able to play the game.
I assume he's left the game halfway through. I assume what his character's up to,
Yeah.
just standing around emoting everywhere. I don't even know, dude.
He's just sitting too
Uh,
busy in our faces in real life, going "Boozhoo,
oh, who's your
boozhoo." Oh.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, anyways, guys,
yeah.
that's all we have for the
Last
show
one.
today. Brent, you and I will have a little fun doing our next one. I have a couple ideas I want to talk to you about afterwards. But
I cannot wait to hear them.
my friend, as always, you were the first one to do this with me. You helped me set this whole thing up. You gave me the confidence I needed. Thank you so much. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, buddy.
Thank you, Nick. You are too sweet. You're such a sweetie, dude. These are my favorite, man. And I had a blast. I hope our round of Call of Duty gets cut in somewhere, and it really did bring back like a lot of really cool nostalgic stuff.
Oh,
So I
just
really,
kicking my ass.
really
Yeah,
thank you.
thanks.
Just playing games, not violating you physically in
Oh,
the game.
I had
Playing
to
games.
have the proof of my dead bodies all over the place while I was running around, just reminding me like, oh yeah, you got killed there too.
Dude, when you laid down and shot me, I think I looked at your corpse about 200 times after that every time. I would see like something that looked like it was laying in the grass. And I said, Nick, I'm like, oh no, it's his body next.
I know. I haunt you, and you'll hear my little. I was scared almost the whole time because it's almost like after I got that first kill on you, it's like, oh, he's pissed now.
Dude, I said the same thing when you ran by the first time I shot you in the back. Like it was like the third time I like come up behind you, I shot you. I'm like, okay, Nick's got to be mad right now. And I was like, wait, Nick never gets mad at this stuff.
No,
So it shows how out of touch I am. But yeah, I said that shit too. I was like, oh, dude, Nick's gonna be so mad. Oh,
beautiful,
well,
my
good.
friend.
Well,
Well, yeah, we'll
thank you.
we'll do one. Like I said, you're my guy. I do twice a month because you're you. So thank you so much for doing everything. I love you, bud. We'll do one very soon.
Sounds good, Nick. I love you too, bud. Have a good night, and thanks everybody for watching. See you guys later on.
Take care, guys.
The Nerd Frenzy Podcast.